There's no mercy for money.
Welcome to today's episode of Hard Wig, Soft Life. Higher, ladies, higher. The higher the wig, the higher the income.
The hard wig soft life is a trend among black women wearing what is considered bad wigs in an attempt to find a rich white husband that will spoil you and provide you with a luxurious life. And this is because of the belief that the one thing black women that marry these rich white men have in common is their bad wigs.
POV trying to attract soft life in a fancy place. RIP dignity. Don't let that stop you, sis. It works. A few minutes later.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll start off by saying I don't have any problem with anybody dating outside of their race for whatever reason other than self-hate. However, there are a few things that I feel like are not being taken into account when it comes to this hard wig soft life trend. Number one is personality. Some people are just fun to be around. They are just really, really fun. They live in the moment and they know how to enjoy the present day. And for some men, that is enough. That is all they would ever ask for. Another thing to consider is your confidence. There is nothing in this world that would ever teach anybody how to treat you better, how to respect you, how to act towards you better than your own confidence, your own self-esteem, how you walk in the room. And that is just something you'll never get from a wig, no matter how beautiful, how laid, how great your baby hairs are. It never comes with a wig. So the real work should be from inside out. We should be able to present ourselves to the outside world without any fear of any rejection, just as we are. But that's not to mean that we don't take care of ourselves and show up as our best selves. I'm just saying, if you've done everything you could, just go as you are. Because I cannot think of anything more draining than having to change your personality and behavior to live with the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. They're going to be there when you wake up. They're going to be there when you eat.
So I just took my wig off and took my braids out, and my fiance has never seen my edges. Like, I have alopecia, if y'all don't know. So I feel like it's time to show him, and I'm so scared. Like, hopefully this go right, because we supposed to get married in February, and I feel like if he do not accept me like this, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Now, obviously, sometimes this may come with some sort of humiliating remarks, and that's why we should be able to do this as quickly as possible. I don't think you should wait until you're about to get married to show somebody who you really are.
What the fuck wrong with your head? I have alopecia, and I just really couldn't get it off my chest. I had to.
Baby, you like a fucking bald head chicken.
I feel like the quicker you do that, the sooner you find out the kind of people that mean well for you. And this goes for everything. It's not just about hair. You shouldn't have to change any part of you in order to fit into a relationship and to get somebody to like you. I feel like that is not something that is healthy. You continue dragging yourself to do the things that you don't want to do and being the person that you are not really, just to show up as the kind of person that these people fall in love with. Now, that's not to say black men should never talk about black women's hair. They can. You can do that. You can do that, but you have to do it tastefully.
Baby, where's your forehead at?
What you trying to say?
This is how big.
What are you doing right now?
This is how your forehead is right now.
No, it's not.
Baby, what's going on with your wig? You gotta go back. You gotta go back inside.
I gotta go back inside?
You gotta fix that, babe.
So obviously this is a better reaction than the first one. You want somebody that will tell you when something seems off, something may be wrong, but you don't want somebody that will make you feel less human while doing so. To me, reactions like the first one seem like one of the contributing reasons why black women feel like they have to show up as their absolute fabulous best, while other black women in interracial relationships are living their free, fabulous, unbothered lives.
So the trending conversation on TikTok right now is hard wig, soft life. The ongoing joke is black women who wear wigs that are little, kind of out there, kind of beat up, not all the way situated, they tend to attract rich white men. Here is my theory on why that is. She's fun. She's charming. She's exciting. She doesn't give a damn. She's just out to have a really good time. She is out to live her life and be loud and boisterous and be seen. And a lot of these men who have resources, that is all that they want. They want a happy, loving, pretty woman on their side. A lot of them, they tend to have expensive taste outside of, the headpiece. And they tend to fit right into their world. Just having a good time is all that they want. And a lot of women whose wigs are like this, they don't care. They don't think too hard about it. They're just enjoying life. And that's what these men want. Someone to enjoy life with. Think that through. Just think that through.
Okay, hard wig, soft life, yes or no? That's not actually the question. You need to be asking why. Why does it work? I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and unfortunately, a very few people actually understand the underlying reason. It is not because these guys don't care as much about beauty standards. It is not because they're too naive to know what to expect from Black beauty standards. It's because if you cannot meet those beauty standards as far as the Black cultural expectation goes, you are marking that by wearing a bad wig. That signifies to them as outsiders out of the community that you are not backed or well connected to the community very much, because if you were, your wig would be laid. You would have the connections, the resources, and the cultural reinforcement for that to happen. When you walk out into these predominantly white spaces, like y'all are gonna go put on your crunchiest wigs and go socialize with them, you are signifying, for better or for worse, realistically or as a ploy, that you are so vulnerable and disconnected from the rest of Black culture. They want a Black woman. They don't want the Black culture. You know what I mean? They want the object. They don't want the people. They don't want the power and the assertion that comes behind it. They want to have you. You get what I'm saying? Remember who these people are. So I'm not the kind of person who's going to tell you what to do in life. However, it's very important to me that people are making informed decisions, because without the correct information, you are not actually consenting to what you're doing, and you may find yourself getting into trouble and in situations that you don't actually want to be in. So understand, these white men are not naive, because any ex-worker will tell you that they know that if they have the ability, they actually want the girl with the laid wig, but she's not going to put up with as much stuff. Right? She's not as desperate for it. She's not online considering, let me go put on a bad wig and get married to a random rich white man, right? Again, I'm not trying to slight anybody for what they do, and I'm not saying that you can't be happy in an interracial marriage. My personal bias is that I don't support the idea of doing things specifically just to marry rich when it involves putting that before everything else, or making concessions and compromises to your own character in order to have it, because that is a limiting belief that basically says you don't believe that you can be well off and wealthy and happy in a more well-rounded way, that you're going to have to make some kind of sacrifice to do it and to get it. And that's where the wearing a bad wig, or, trying to find yourself a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever, even though you don't genuinely like these people, I can't support that, because that's not my platform. I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying, that's my bias, so that you know whether or not you want to listen to me. But again, my point is, hard wig theory, it does not work because white men don't know the beauty standards or don't care about what you look like. It's because you are signaling that you are alone. You are signaling that you are not rooted in the Black culture. You are a Black body, very beautiful, very appealing, very attainable, but you are not empowered. Your ancestors are not walking with you. The community is not walking with you. You don't necessarily have all of these people surrounding you that come from the standing on 10 toes that the Black culture may come with. Therefore, no judgments from family, from community. You don't have a group chat, yada, 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 because if you did, your wig wouldn't be looking like that. They know.
I do understand the disconnect part and how that may be true, but I don't think it's always the case, especially for most African women that are married out of poverty. Before they meet these people, they're usually the kind of people that don't have a kind of friend group that would tell them about how their hair looks, because nobody's wearing wigs. Therefore, nobody around them really cares. So it's not so much that they're disconnected from their own community, it's just that their community at the moment may value discussions about other things more than they do about hair and making sure that you have a wig that is laid and all that, because they don't even have those things to begin with.
Let's discuss the bad wig theory as someone who has both white and black girlfriends. I grew up in a predominantly white gated community, and although I went to a predominantly black private school, I hung out with a lot of the white kids in my neighborhood who also went to a predominantly white private school. My black girlfriends from school discussed everything black beauty, black hair care, basically all of the things that I never discussed with my white friends due to lack of relation. Because black girls learn from other black girls, the black girls who went to the predominantly white school most likely didn't either. If no one around you is pointing out an issue with your hair, then why correct it? Why change it? So rarely any of the few I knew of had laid edges or super bust down hair, you know what I mean. But naturally, we date within our social circle. So who is she dating? White boys, whom of which are now familiar with this specific style of black girl. And that kind of familiarization makes them comfortable enough to approach this kind of woman. So you don't need to dishevel your wig or your hair in order to achieve luck in dating. Because in today's world, with all the social media we have, dating apps, people are developing a broader interest in who they typically go for. And while dating within your social circle is still very much a thing, people are just more open to dating other people now. Anyway, I say all this to say that no one in their right mind is actively seeking out someone with a fault, knowingly. And black women, you are the only one who knows, much less even care, if someone's wig is considered bad. So maybe instead of the hard wig, soft life, backhanded as compliments y'all are shelling out, slide in your sister's DMs and give her some tips. Otherwise, leave her be, because believe me, it's so much more than the wig.
What she just said to me sort of confirms what the previous girl was just from saying. If she went to a predominantly white people's school and also lived in a white neighborhood, she wouldn't have had those conversations with black people talking about beauty and hair. Therefore, she would have been a part of those people that go about with their wigs not minding what they look like, which according to this other girl would be a perfect indication of the kind of black girl that is so detached from her culture and people that look like her. The rest of the explanation I cannot defend, but I do understand where she's coming from. And sometimes it's not even a detachment from your culture, especially in an African setting where almost 90% of the people that you know are actually as black as you are. It is not about the people around you, it's more so that the people around you just don't care. Because sometimes it's not that serious, it really isn't.
I love spoiling a rent, and I do spoil a rent quite frequently, actually.
If you take anything from this video, I hope it's the fact that it's not always about how you look and all of your accomplishments. Sometimes some people just want somebody to share a life with.